Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into Built to Sell, a book all about creating a business that practically sells itself. We're focusing on a YouTube summary, so visual learners, you're in for a treat.
Absolutely. We're going to break down what makes a business truly valuable, enticing to those potential buyers.
Which is huge, right? Especially if you're dreaming of a business that doesn't need you chained to a desk 24/7. I think that's what we all want.
You got it. And the video starts with this guy, Alex, owns Stapleton Agency. He's like the poster child for entrepreneurial struggles.
Oh, I know that guy. Seen that movie.
Right. So on paper, business looks good, clients, projects, the whole nine yards.
hmm
But behind the scenes, he's drowning, workload's insane, income's all over the place, and selling. He's realizing that's going to be a nightmare.
Oof, yeah. Poured your heart into it, but it's more like a demanding job than a business at that point. So how does Built to Sell tackle this?
Well, there's this mentor figure, Ted. And Ted doesn't sugarcoat it. He tells Alex straight up his business. Worthless.
Ouch. Okay, but sometimes you need that brutal honesty. Why is he saying that?
Because Alex is the business.
Yeah.
If he walks away, the whole thing collapses. Huge red flag for buyers. Like buying a car that only runs when the previous owner's driving.
Talk about a bad investment. So even if you're profitable, if the owner's the only one keeping it afloat, it's not really a business. Like we said, it's a job with a really demanding boss, and that boss is you.
Nailed it. That's where Built to Sell steps in 11 actionable tips, all about building a business that runs without you, making it way more valuable.
Okay, now we're talking. Hit me with these tips.
First up, find a product that can scale. Alex was all over the place. Design, advertising, you name it. No focus, which makes building a streamlined, sellable business near impossible. Like trying to sell a restaurant that makes every type of cuisine imaginable.
Talk about an overwhelmed chef. Yeah, that's not a recipe for success.
Right. So step one for Alex. Figure out what they excel at, but more importantly, what can be standardized, sold again and again. Turns out their logo design service is a hit with clients, and it can be systematized.
Smart. So it's about finding that sweet spot. What you're good at that can be replicated and scaled. But how do you turn something like logo design from a service into, well, a product?
Tip number two, systematize. Create a clear process for everything. Alex breaks down his logo design process into 5 steps. No more relying solely on intuition. There's a system now.
Love it. It's like that secret family recipe, but you finally write it down so anyone can follow it.
Exactly. And that's crucial for a business that can run without you.
Mm.
But it's not enough to just have a system, got to commit to it. Which leads us to tip 3. Resist being a jack of all trades.
Ah, the entrepreneur's dilemma. Wanting to do it all. Why is that a problem when you're trying to build something sellable?
Imagine you're buying a bakery,
Yeah.
right? What's more appealing?
Mhm.
One known for its award-winning croissants, or one that also tries to do pizza, custom cakes, and catering on the side?
Give me the amazing croissants any day. Focus equals expertise in my book.
Exactly. Specialization makes your business more attractive to buyers. Clear niche, higher perceived expertise.
So Alex needs to ditch the we do everything and stick to their strength logo design. But hold on, didn't you say they have that one massive client and they're not even using the logo design service?
So you're sharp. That right there, that's a classic trap. And Ted, the mentor, he uses Southwest Airlines as an example.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What do airlines have to do with any of this?
Southwest, they only use one type of plane, the Boeing 737.
Really? Never knew that. Why?
Efficiency. They don't waste time, resources on a fleet of different planes. Focused excellence.
I like it. So by specializing in logo design, Alex's business becomes more streamlined, more efficient, and ultimately more appealing to buyers because they're the experts, not just another agency trying to wear all the hats. But what about that big client? That's got to be a tough one to navigate.
You're right on the money with that. That client, they represent a big risk, a trap a lot of entrepreneurs fall into.
So Alex has this big client, not even using their main service. Sounds kind of risky.
Big time. That's where tip number 5 comes in. Diversify that client base. Having one major client might seem great for steady income, but for buyers, it screams risk, like putting all your eggs in one basket and that basket's on fire.
Yikes. If that one client jumps ship, the whole business sinks. Not exactly a selling point. What's the solution there?
Ted's advice. Aim for a client portfolio where no single client makes up more than, say, 10–15% of revenue. Spread the risk, create a more stable, attractive business.
Okay, I see the pattern here. Find your core product, systematize it, don't rely too heavily on any one client. But how does Alex actually shift from being a service provider to running a product-based business? Seems like a whole different mindset.
It is, and that's a big one. Tip number 6. Shift from a service to a product mindset. Stop customizing everything and start offering a standardized product or service.
Example time. I think I get it, but seeing it in action always helps.
Remember Alex's 5-step logo design process. He's gone from reinventing the wheel for every client to having a repeatable system that gets consistent results. That system, that becomes the product.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he's not selling his time anymore, constantly adapting to each client's demands. He's selling a defined product, a logo created through his proven 5-step process. But how does that change how he deals with clients?
Tip number 7, charge up front. You wouldn't eat an orange at the grocery store, then decide if you'll pay for it, right?
Oh, good point.
Exactly. Charging up front for his logo design product creates a positive cash flow, shows confidence in the product. Potential buyers see a healthy, product-based financial structure.
It's funny how ingrained that service-based payment thing is. Do the work, then get paid. But for a sellable business, gotta flip that script.
You got it. And once you've got that product-based model humming, time to sell, sell, sell.
Q-tip number 8, 2 sales reps are better than 1. Makes sense. Gotta get that product in front of people.
Right. And having multiple salespeople, not just about more revenue, it signals to buyers that the model is scalable, not dependent on one irreplaceable salesperson.
Provides that peace of mind for a potential buyer. One person running the whole sales show. Risky. So how does Alex go about building this sales team for his new product-focused business?
Tip number 9, hire people good at selling products, not services.
Is there really that big of a difference? Sounds like selling to me.
Subtle but important. The book introduces 2 potential sales candidates, Blake and Angie. Blake comes from a traditional ad agency, everything's customized solutions, long pitches. Angie, she sold mobile phones.
So she's used to highlighting the value of a set product with specific features, not tailoring every pitch to individual whims.
Exactly. She's selling the idea of the product, not just her service. That's what Alex needs. People who can sell the value of his standardized logo design process.
Interesting how even the sales approach needs to change when you shift from service-based to product-based. So you've got the product, the process, the team. What else is Alex missing?
He needs to know his market. Tip number 10, understand your market potential. To prove to buyers his business has legs, he needs to show there's enough demand.
So it's not enough to have an awesome product. You have to prove people actually want it.
100%. In the book, Alex and Ted do their research and realize huge untapped market for logo design in their area. That's how you show potential buyers. There's room for growth, even without Alex running the show.
He's not just selling a logo design business. He's selling the potential for growth in a market that's hungry for it. Smart. But even with a killer product in a market that's ready to buy, perception is everything, right? How do you convince people you're not just another agency, especially when you're trying to sell?
You're hitting on that final tip. Tip number 11. Use product-oriented language. It's all about aligning your words with this new product-based identity.
So what, like a vocabulary makeover for the business? Give me an example, I'm curious.
Well, the book points out how Alex keeps calling the companies he works with clients. Subconsciously reinforces that service-based mentality.
And
Customers.
oh, interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
It's subtle, but powerful. Clients imply personalized service. Customers imply a standardized product.
Shifting the perception, not just for potential buyers, but maybe even for Alex himself. Wow, we covered some serious ground today. Product selection, systematizing, sales, even the right words to use. If you had to pick just one thing, one takeaway for building a business that's going to be sellable down the line, what would it be?
Honestly, it always circles back to that fundamental shift, moving away from providing services and towards owning a systematized process. That's how you transform a business from a job to a valuable, sellable asset.
Yeah, it's about working on your business, not just in it endlessly. So empowering. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Built to Sell. You don't have to do everything at once. As you're building, think about what resonated most. What could make the biggest impact on your business today? And start there. Until next time, happy building.